Yeah.
All right, good morning, people. I have Amber here. She is a current client of mine who joined my program and really wanted to share her experience in working with me and reaching her goals. She actually signed on through a promotion that I had at the time. And right now she's 39 years old and she's going to tell us how she lost 60 pounds so far in my fitness program. So we're going to start an interview here. And Amber, tell us what were you struggling with before you started my program?
So I was struggling with, um, I was at a stagnant. I was stagnant with my weight loss. I also was struggling with not knowing the nutritional foods that I needed to eat. And I had no clue anything about working out or anything like that. So I was stagnant. I was staying right where I was, and I was not moving. I was not going up, but I was not going down, and so I was struggling.
Mhm. Okay. So tell us more about your nutrition habits of where you were before starting my program and how we got you to where you are today.
Okay, so technically, I never really ate healthy. So my testimony from the very beginning, I'll tell where I started. So my testimony is that technically I never ate very healthy. I've birthed 6 children. And even after all 6 of my children that I gave birth to, I was still a size 3. I was a very small, petite little lady. Okay. In 2015, I met who is now my husband, James. In 2015, we met. I was a size 3. In 2018, we got married. And the day that we got married, I weighed 245 pounds. I was wearing a size 18 dress. I was completely miserable with myself. I decided then that I wanted to do something different, but I didn't know what and I didn't know how. Mind you, I was not eating healthy prior to me when I was skinny. I was not eating healthy while I was fat. I didn't have any knowledge behind what was right to eat, what was wrong to eat. I just ate because it was food, like you were just taught growing up in your household that food was energy and you just ate to eat, because you had to eat to live, whatever. Um, so in 2018, when we got married, I was 245 pounds. And it was then that I decided that I wanted to lose all of this weight. I wanted to go back to the woman that my husband met. I didn't know how. So I started research and I wanted a quick and fast, easy way to do it. You wanted something fast. You wanted something here and now. And you don't know how to do that. But when you research everything, and the quickest way when you're researching is everything's keto, keto, keto. Okay. So I researched keto for about a year before I actually started to do it because I didn't know how to do it and I wanted to do it the right way of their way. And so I started doing keto in 2019. From 2019 to 2021, from that time together, I had lost 94 pounds.
That's a great.
But I wasn't eating healthy.
Mm.
I was tired, I was sluggish, I had no energy, I had brain fog, but I thought because I was losing all the weight and I was continuously eating the things that I was eating, I thought I was healthier, right? So during all of my journey, I had joined like a bunch of different like workout groups, food groups, like nutritional groups, coaching groups online on Facebook, Instagram, all kinds of stuff. Okay. So I'm in different communities, learning from different people, and you're hearing do this, you're hearing do that, and you don't know, you know. So I just keep doing this keto thing and I'm very unhealthy and I start to get very bad acne like around my eyebrows because my skin is very unhealthy. So I go to the dermatologist and she gives me a medication that I have to eat carbohydrates in order to absorb the medication. In order for it to work, I have to eat carbohydrates. So I gain all this weight back Within 6 months, I have all this weight back and all of my work is down the drain. So November 27th of 2022 was my last medication for my face. So on December 1st, I started keto again. From the time that December 1st until the time that I met you, I was doing keto, but I had only lost like an average of 30-ish pounds, 40-ish pounds, an average of that. And that's where I stayed stagnant. Okay. So then I'm watching Sarah, you, on all these different groups, like talking to different people about the nutritional value of how important it is that you have to have the right nutritional foods that you're eating, the right workouts that you're eating, and that each person is individualized and they have to do it a specific way in order for it to work, and yada yada yada. So I reach out to you, and of course I join on with you, and I joined with you in November of 2023. The day that I joined on with you, I was on that day I was 190 pounds. So I was 190 when I started with you. So you send me my nutritional guide, you send me my workout guide, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm completely overwhelmed with all of this, because I'm like, how am I going to do all of these food prepping, do all of this work, I'm like completely overwhelmed with all of this. I feel like it's so much work. Plus, I have no idea how to do any of these workouts, have no clue, right? So I go grocery shopping. I do my first round of meal prepping. And then it becomes easier to me. I do this meal prep, and then the next week I do another meal prep. And I continue with just starting to do the meal preps, because you specified how important the meals were. So I'm doing these 5 meals a day, and I'm very strict, very consistent with all of these meals. And I realize I haven't even started doing the workouts yet, but I don't even know how to start with them anyways. So I reach out to my oldest daughter and I'm like, Josie, I'm like, you got to help me with these workouts. I have no idea what even dumbbells are. I'm like, and she's got all these foreign words on here that she sent me. I have no clue whatsoever, any of this. So Josie goes, okay, I'll come over on such and such day and we'll work on it for the day. And I'm like, okay. So that week I had prepped my food. So I'm already into this for 2 months. So I started at 190, and now 2 months later, I'm 170, just doing the meal prep, just the meal prep, like just eating the way Sarah wants me to eat. I've already lost 20 pounds. Okay. So now Josie comes in and we're integrating the workouts, and she's teaching me how to do all of them. And I'm separating what I can do from home from what I can do at the gym. I'm like, okay, because we have a gym at my job. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna organize it so that I work out on this, and this day there, work out at home, this, and this day. I create a little gym in my kitchen or my dining room. And so I got it all planned. So now I'm at 170 pounds. And from learning from Josie and then working out at the gym at work. So from November until today I am 131.
Amazing.
So in all, I've lost roughly about 60 pounds.
That's awesome. That's so great. That's just amazing. So is there anything that you want to talk about as far as your mindset, I guess, through, having come to me and say, you know what, Sarah, I've been on this keto diet for so many years now, and yes, it's worked, but it's not sustainable. So let's talk about how we changed your mindset from thinking that was the answer to actually implementing the program, the nutrition part of it that I gave you, even though you were like, oh my God, there's carbs in here. Like, let's talk about that for a minute.
So we are conditioned that all of our foods have sugars and carbs and bad chemicals in them, especially in America. Like, America's food system is like the worst. Like, I mean, I've never seen nothing like it in my life. It's the worst. So I just was under the assumption that, okay, I cut out carbs, I cut out sugars, I cut out starches, I cut out processed foods. Like, keto was the way to go in my mind for the longest time. Like, thought that was on the healthy path,
Mm-hmm.
not realizing that I needed some carbs for the energy to sustain the muscle, to work off throughout the day. Like I didn't understand that. And because you're in such a keto fog,
Mm-hmm.
you think that you're eating healthy. When in reality, as long as you're not eating the processed foods and the sugars, you can still have good carbs. But
Mm-hmm.
I did not realize that. I didn't realize that until, what was it, my second trial, my second change of my foods that you did. You were like, because I really got used to the first meal plan that you
Mm-hmm.
sent me. I really got used to that, and I had lost all this weight. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, we're going to change your meal plan. And it just so happened that day I went grocery shopping, and I'm like, no, we ain't. You're like, I'll send it over. And then you sent it and it had carbs on it. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
whoa, I'm going to be so sick from this. Like,
Yeah.
I cannot eat this stuff. And you're like, yes, you can. You have to. You have to, in order to sustain working out, eating
Mm-hmm.
healthy, for the energy, you have to eat it.
Mm-hmm.
And so then, and I still actually remember it because the first day it was that I was like trying to eat my breakfast with some carbs. I was like real leery about it. And my husband's like, are you sure you're going to eat that? I'm like, I have to. My coach said I have to.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, but you haven't ate that stuff in so long. I'm like, I know. I'm like, I've already gotten this far, James. I said, I've only been with her for 2 months and I've already lost 20 pounds. I'm like, I got this, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, and I said, and now I'm always tired. And I said, and I have to work out more. I'm like, so maybe carbs will help, you know? So I started eating the second meal plan that you gave me. And that was what set me. Like after
Yeah.
that, it was like my metabolism took off and it just started
Mm-hmm.
working like mad crazy. And it's funny too, because I also explained to people, because before I was eating either once or three times, either one or three times, but it was never like a sustainable amount and a
Right.
proper, like a portioned out amount
Mm-hmm.
before. And then when I started your program, when I was eating the 5 meals a day, you watch on your watch, and you watch like the mobility of throughout your day. And prior to it, I would go like this. I'd be like,
Yeah.
and it would just keep going. But then when I started eating the 5 times a day, my thing was going like my metabolism was working like this. And I'm like, what the
Mm-hmm.
heck? I'm like, that doesn't even seem normal. Like, I didn't even think that was possible. But
Mm-hmm.
clearly you're working off just as much energy as like you're using just as much energy as you're eating throughout the day, because it's a consistent portioned out amount. And it's what your body needs. Do you get what I
Yes.
mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's versus like just eating little bits here and there. That's not what's going to get you. And
Mm-hmm.
for some reason, you knew the exact plan I needed for food. You knew the exact plan that I needed for working out. I don't know. It seemed to work and fall into place.
Yeah. I'm so thrilled that you put your trust in me through the whole keto thing. Because I mean, it was kind of like banging you over the head saying, hey, you can't stay on this. It's not sustainable. It's not healthy to do that. It's like a tool that we use. Keto is a tool, and that's it. It's not a lifestyle by any means, and it shouldn't be. It can be dangerous for some people. And we went through a little stubbornness with you for a little bit, but then you were like, you kind of let go, and thank God you did, because that's where it led you today. And I think that's something really worth mentioning. That you get stuck in your brain. We get programmed to think that we are supposed to do a certain thing, but for you to let go and let me take over was like the best thing you could have done for yourself. Um, and so what would you say you liked the best about working with me in my program?
So what I liked the most about you was I am very straightforward to people that I know or the
Mhm.
people that I work with. I tell them like it is. I put up with no bullshit. I'm a no bullshit type of person. But because I'm that way for other people, I needed that for me. Do you get what I
Mhm.
mean? I needed to
Mhm.
be treated that way for me, to make sure that I didn't that I wasn't lenient on myself,
Mm.
so that somebody was holding me accountable.
Mm-hmm.
So, because during all of my keto journey and everything, I didn't have anybody to hold my hand. I didn't have anybody to help me.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why it was such a yo-yo up and down type thing. So I needed somebody to hold me accountable. And basically, not that I need somebody to hold my hand, but you're so straightforward. I'm not, if it's either all or nothing. If you're not going to put it, you're all into it, then you're wasting your own time. You're wasting my time. I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out. You know what I mean? And I told you when I was on the phone, I am definitely an all or a nothing person. And like, and I even thought that to myself. I was like, it must be like something like programmed in my mind, because like when I was skinny, I was skinny. When I was fat, I was really fat. And now that I'm losing weight, like now I'm skinny again, but now I'm like programmed to like want to be nutrition, health, fitness, you know what I mean? Like now I'm programmed in a different way, which I'm grateful for, but I wouldn't have had that had it not been for your strict, no bullshit attitude. And you didn't tell me what I wanted to hear. You told me what I had to hear, what I needed to hear. Whether I liked it or not, I needed to know, or I needed to hear what you had to say. And you didn't hold back. You just said, no, you're not eating carbs. It's shit. Like you're gonna eat carbs. And that was just for any conversation we've ever had.
Well, again, it goes into the fact that it's tough love. It's tough love. It's not because I'm trying to be this total bitch in a way. It's because that's what you need. It's what you really need. And the right people pick that up, and they acknowledge it and they respect that, because at the end of the day, I'm all about honesty and transparency. And that's what people need, is that behind them. Because like I said, if I were to just say, hey, Amber, just keep plugging along, keep doing the keto thing, I wouldn't care. That would show that I don't care. But you're paying for results, and I need to make sure that you're going to get those results from hell to high water. And we're going to do it in a really healthy way so that it's sustainable for you. That's what my whole mission in my program is about, is getting you those results. And it's not, we're not going to run on a hamster wheel for 7 days. You're not going to be starving. You're going to be eating, and you're going to be so full. Like you're going to be like, I can't eat anymore, Sarah. That's okay.
That's true.
Because
that is true.
Eventually, as you're working out, your metabolism is just going to rise, and you're going to get hungrier and hungrier, and you're going to desire that next meal. You're going to be like, oh my God, I can't wait to eat my next meal. And so again, if I just say, oh, just be consistent, you'll eventually get there. Like that's a horrible mindset as a coach to have. I needed to get you on the right mindset of your nutrition so that we did get sustainable results. And thank God you flipped that switch. And I commend you for that, like wholeheartedly, really. Yeah.
Sarah, I have to tell you something. At one point, I was doing this one workout in the living room, and my husband came in and he goes, why do you have to do that? And I'm like, I don't know, because this was like in the very beginning, right? And I'm like, I don't know, but I have to. Sarah told me to. And he goes, well, do you have to? And I go, yeah, she's scary. She's a scary bitch. I'm going to continue to do this. Like, but it's funny because like you and I, like, from that, we've gained so much, not even just like my workout process, but a relationship that we can communicate with each other and say, you know, this is the way it's going to be and no other way, because there is no reason to beat around the bush. There is no reason to bullshit. It's either this way or no way. Why waste your time or my time? And like you said, it's something that we're paying for.
Exactly. Yeah. You're paying for results. I mean, we come out bonded and we come out with great communication together. But at the end of the day, you're not paying to be my friend, and I'm not there to be your friend. I'm there to get you results. That's the bottom line. I do want to ask you, what would you say to other women who are on the fence or have thought about my program? What would you say to them, like, that are thinking about joining?
So I would definitely say that we only get one chance. We only get one body. There's no reason why we like I told you before, we fail, and then we succeed. That you have to fail multiple times in order to get to your goals. And so what I would tell them is you don't want to be in despair all your life because you didn't try or because you didn't go here, you didn't try this, you didn't eat this, you didn't. Wouldn't you want to, like, when it's your last days, wouldn't you want it to be, I tried, I did this, I went here, I tried. Like, you want to have the power of knowing that you at least tried something. Do you get what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, there's no reason to not try. And if you're trying, if you're truly trying, you're going to get results. And what you do today is going to be for your tomorrow.
Yes.
Like, that is a for sure thing. Just because you don't see results today, this tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, every single thing that you do today is going to be your set for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Totally true. I mean, you know, the mindset is the biggest aspect. And, you know, the women that are struggling today, that feel the fatigue, they have health issues, they, you know, they're overweight, even 20 pounds. They're going to stay stuck in that rut because that mindset is so blown that they can't even get out of their own way. They're not listening to what actually needs to happen. Whereas you listened to what I had to say and you incorporated it into your life so that as you age, okay, you're in such an advantage right now to your health, to your happiness, to your kids. And I hear it every day. I want this, I want that, I want to be such and such to my kids. Most people, their goals are not that important. Yours were. And so there's people sitting on the sidelines watching this video right now, you know, oh my gosh, well, she did this, but they're just watching. They're not actually implementing. Okay. Whereas you took that step and said, you know what? My goals are so damn important to me. I'm going to do this. It's done. There's no questions asked. I am going to do this. And that's the advantage that you have over other women today, is that you took the bull by the horns and girl, you crushed your goals. And I can't wait to see that next level that you get to, with now adding some more lean muscle onto yourself and feeling freaking amazing in your skin. I mean, as you age and as you go through your perimenopause and menopause, you're going to be so far ahead of that. Like, you're going to be so far ahead of that compared to the women who don't care, about reaching their goals, who don't care about feeling fatigued and exhausted and having that menno belly and the bloat. Like, you're so far ahead of that. And so let's, I want to talk about your grandmother's little story. Can you tell people about your grandmother and how she dealt with things?
So my grandmother, she was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. And when she was very first diagnosed, she was like about 190-ish. She wasn't that big, but she wasn't that heavy either. But she looked like she had a lot of meat on her bones, whatever. And when she was very first diagnosed, I told her, I was like, Grandma, I was like, and I don't know what made me think this, because I knew nothing about cancer or like treatments or like what she was going to go through. But after hearing what the doctor had to say, I wanted to prep her body as much as I possibly could, because I wanted to prepare myself and my own children and my husband for taking care of her. So I told my grandma, I was like, Grandma, you need to start like drinking in Ensure. I was like, I'm going to start researching like what foods to feed you, like, you know, so on and so forth. And I'm like explaining all of this to her. And she's like completely adamant. No, I'm already dying. I'm going to eat whatever the fuck I want. I'm going to keep smoking. Like, I'm just going to keep doing whatever I want, blah, 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 you know? So her mindset was well, even though she was dying, which was understandable, but it was completely trash of the fact that she didn't want to prepare herself for what was to come. Okay. Yeah. And literally within 3 months, she was like 100 pounds. She went like the chemo just started sucking everything out of her. And I think by the time she did die, she was like 94 pounds. But I mean, like, she just withered into nothing, like within just a couple months. And she was so frail and fragile. And so she was she wasn't just sad that she was dying. She was sad that she didn't do so much, that she didn't accomplish so much, that so many things were unsettled in her life.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought to myself then, I was like, there is no way. And I understand that cancer will attack everybody and anybody in a different way, and everybody has to deal with it in a certain way. And it everybody's different. I
Mm-hmm.
understand that completely. But as I was looking at her, I thought to myself, there's no way I would ever want to die like this. Not only die so unhealthy
Mm-hmm.
and not prepared to like have any body mass to be able to do for myself in some way. Because 3 months after she had found out and she got so frail and sick, there was no reason why some of the things that she was doing daily, she couldn't have done for herself. Do you get what I
Right.
mean? But she
Right.
couldn't because she was so weak, and she was so weak because she was so frail, and she was so
Right.
frail because it sucked everything out of her. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So in my mind, I thought to myself right then and there, I was like, there is no way I will ever want to put myself through that, or my family. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to do whatever I can today to prepare myself
Exactly.
for if I
Mm-hmm.
ever did get sick. I want to prepare my body to not get sick. But in the rare case I ever did get sick, what can I do to be as healthy as possible so that my children don't have to hold me up to wipe my butt? And
Right.
like, do you
Right.
get what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
just in general, like,
But it
and
goes, it literally goes back to what we just discussed a little while ago, in that what you do today is going to set you up for that. And so if someone, is complaining about how they feel today or how they look, and they're not actively taking action on that for what they need to do, then it's not that important to them. And that's
right.
the whole freaking truth right there, is that you have other priorities in your life that are more important, like buying a car or going on a trip. That's more important to you than your health. Because when you come home from that trip, you're going to feel the same way. You're going to feel like crap. You're still going to look like shit. And you're okay with that. That says you're okay to settle where you are. And if that's the case, then why are you online? Why are you on fitness groups? Like, what are you trying to do? What is it? What is your motive? Because if you're not willing to do exactly what you need to do, then you're wasting your own time. And you're literally wasting the days away continuing on the same path of least resistance, really, because like I said, it's just not that important to you. And people need to come to grips with that you're settling, and it's just, you're not going to get anywhere.
Well, I wasn't about to go. I wasn't about to stay on that train. Like, if I did, this is good. For instance, like you're saying, like these people are tired. If they're tired today, then they're going to be tired tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, today, if I'm tired, I have to figure out why I'm tired. What nutrition
Exactly.
do I need? What
Mm-hmm.
workouts do I need to do? Why am I tired? So that tomorrow I can't be tired. I'm not going to be tired tomorrow, or so on and so forth. Like, I was not going to be on that train. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's no way, shape, or form. Like when I met you, I said, Sarah, how can I look like the women that I'm following on these different groups?
Mm-hmm.
What can I do to be like these inspirational women that I follow, that I watch? That I want to be that, because when I'm 70 years old, I want to be in your chair saying,
Mm-hmm.
I conditioned my body to do this. I conditioned my body to do that. I can do this. I can do that. When I'm on my deathbed, I want to be able to say, I tried this, I tried
Exactly.
that, I did
You're
this, I
fulfilled.
did that.
You
I have
fulfilled
no
your
regrets.
you fulfilled your health and wellness throughout your life, is what you can say. And you had no regrets because, like you said, you tried. Whereas there's other people
Right.
that can't get past the investment, they can't get past that. And so they just say, no, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to go into debt. I don't want to do this. I don't want to put this on my card. Okay, so you're just going to stay where you are. Well, that's a priceless thought right there. I mean, come on, like, it's not, you're not buying into something that you're not going to get fulfilled with. Like I said, it's not like buying a car or a house. This is an investment into your health and your happiness, and it's going to stay with you forever. I mean, it's really common sense. It's a straight up common sense decision that you need to make for yourself. And that's what you did. You made the decision for yourself and said, you know what, I'm going to tackle these and I'm going to try. And if I fail, I'm going to get back up again. But guess what? I have Sarah in my corner. So I'm not going to fail. She's going to help me. She's going to lead me with her hand the entire way and teach me and educate me so that I can do this on my own at some point. And I can also teach my own children how to do it. My household is going to be happy and healthy. And no one's going to make that decision except for me.
Right. So I tell my kids now, I'm like for instance, like like in the winter vacation, like when winter vacation comes, my daughter Josie, she goes with me to the gym. Like and I tell Brooklyn all the time, I'm like, Brooklyn, you need to go with me on your days off. Like whenever you possibly can, you need to go to the gym with me. It's important that they not only see mom do it and mom can become healthy and she's instilling healthiness for herself, but then we're also doing it so that my grandchildren and my great grandchildren are eating healthy and working out and so on and so forth, so that we create a generation of, yeah, right, a
Of healthy
generation of
habits. Of healthy
right, healthy
habits.
habits, right.
Yep, absolutely, 100%. And um, it just shows how important it is to you. That's what I love the best about your story is that you're like, I'm not settling for this. I'm gonna go for this, and it's something that I'm gonna instill in my life forever. You know, um, can you just quickly talk about the program in terms of, is the meal plan easy? Is it doable? Like, because a lot of people would probably want to know that. So talk about that real quick.
So if you're not doing meal plans, say for instance today, you're not doing any meal plans, you're just making breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you're only eating here and there, and you're picking up fast foods here and there or whatever. If you're not already meal prepping, if I were to send you a week's worth of meal prep, that it seems overwhelming. But your meal preps, they're based on, you're telling me what to eat for the whole week.
Mhm.
So I'm meal prepping for the whole week. Every Sunday I meal prep my meals for what I'm going to have for the whole week. You know what I mean? So actually, and I was going to say, once you start investing in yourself, investments throughout your life, like actually, I don't know, how to explain it, but you need to invest in yourself and your foods that you're eating in order to invest in anything else in life. And
Exactly.
you have to invest that time into meal prepping so that it's not as hard as it seems. When you first send it over, it's like,
Yeah,
oh my God, it seems
I know.
overwhelming.
Right.
But it's really not.
It's
It's
not.
not, because you're meal prepping for the whole week.
It's really doable at the end of the day because it's a very simple meal plan, okay? And you're gonna still be able to eat some of the things that you want
Right.
as refeeds.
Right.
So you're not eliminating everything out of your diet, but we're gonna do a really healthy way of things. And we're gonna acknowledge um the things that you shouldn't be doing, but we're still going to implement things that you still like to do. So you're not restricting, you're just following a nice lifestyle, and then boom, here, go have this meal and
Right.
replenish those, protein, carbs, and fats. But we're not gonna sabotage ourselves in any way, shape, or form. But you're following this nice lifestyle, and it's super easy. Like a 5-year-old could follow it. Okay, I've had so many clients tell me, oh my God, thank you for making this so simple for me. Thank you for the fact that I don't have to count macros. Thank you for making it so that it's completely doable for an average person. And that's the whole
It
point right
is.
there. It's
Right.
it's it's so doable. And yes, exactly. When you first get the whole entire plan that I send you, I literally say to most people, don't get overwhelmed. Print out your pages, start with one thing, look at it, read it, absorb it, understand it, get what you need, implement it. I don't expect you to flip a leaf over in one night. It's not going to happen. But you need to start implementing the nutrition. You need to start, and then implement that. Then take the next step and start your strength training. So, we have realistic goals here. We have realistic strategies here that are fit for the average woman, whether you're just over 35, you're in your 40s, 50s, or 60s. It has to be something doable for the average person. Otherwise, it wouldn't work and my clients wouldn't be successful. Okay. So, I mean, if anybody's listening to this, I mean, Amber has gone above and beyond with her goals. And she really has that mindset to be where she is today because we worked on it together. We went through it. She took it in as an important aspect of her life, and I'm sure a lot of you will be able to resonate with this. Hopefully, connect the dots on how this works and what you need to do to get there. And honestly,
I
I want to
told you,
thank
Sarah.
you. Yeah, I
I
just
told
want
you,
to.
Sarah, I'm not done. I'm not done. I
I
said,
know.
I'm literally just in the beginning of where I want to be. And just because I lost all this weight does not mean that this is where it ends. Like,
Right.
this is just my beginning. And I
Right.
said, Sarah's going to be holding my hand throughout all of the next processes that I have and all of my next goals that I'm reaching. Like, I'm not even close to being done.
Yeah. Well, I personally have such gratitude for the fact that you instilled all this trust in me. You gave me the opportunity to help you because you were open, you were trusting, and that went so far for you. Like you really did so much for yourself in that aspect of getting unprogrammed, okay, and getting to what you needed to do. So huge congratulations to you. I can't wait to see what we do going forward. The next thing is to, start really putting some good lean muscle on you, tightening certain aspects up and seeing, how far we can take this. So thank you for coming on here today and giving everyone your story. I really appreciate it. I'm sure everyone else will love this and hear this. And I can't wait to just continue working with you.
Thank you so much, Sarah.